Hello. Today we will be looking at the players who have reached the top of the beautiful game, but then something went awry and their careers ended far from the shining stars. We will rule out the players who went to relatively smaller clubs and focus on the players who had a considerable decline in their careers. And we will only look at the players who were at the starting 11 or came later as a substitute. So sitting on the bench does not count. Our starting point is 2010 UEFA Champions League final. We will first start with Bayern Munich, and our first two players are Hamit Altintop and Ivica Olic, who had ended their career in similar spots. Hamit arrived in Bayern in 2007 and stayed for 4 years, playing 63 matches for the club. Funny, he also played only 63 minutes in the final. His next stop was Real Madrid. However, due to the injuries, he was only able to play 5 matches, but he was among the winners of that season's La Liga. After a year, he left for Galatasaray, where he won 2 league titles, 2 Turkish Cups and 3 Turkish Super Cups. He was a Puskás Award winner in 2010 for his goal against Kazakhstan in Euro 2012 qualifiers. Hamit was also part of the Euro 2008 team of the tournament. However, the injuries never left him alone, and he spent his last season in Darmstadt 98 in second tier of the German football. At the moment, he works for the Turkish Football Federation. Our next player is Ivica Olic. He may not be as decorated as Hamit on the personal level, but he was always a prominent part of the team wherever he played, and he was always a reliable goal scorer. He was a winner of 2004-2005 UEFA Cup, and he was Croatian Player of the Year in 2009 and 2010. He joined Bayern in 2009 on a free transfer. He played 55 games but netted 13 goals only. Later, he played for Wolfsburg and Hamburg and ended his career in Munich 1860 in second Bundesliga. At the moment, he is an assistant coach in the Croatian national team. As rest of the Bayern players kept their momentum more or less, we'll move to Inter, and our first choice is Maicon. At the time, he was one of the best right backs in the world and had a crucial role in Jose Mourinho's tactic. He played 177 games for Inter Milan and was capped 76 times by Brazil national team. After Inter, he spent only 1 season in Manchester City and played only 9 games. The next 3 years he spent in Roma. Even though he was not at his peak, he was still a very dependable player. However, after 2016 it was a disaster. He played again only 9 games for Brazilian side Avaí, who relegated to Serie B, and he spent his last year in Criciúma, in Brazilian Serie B. Next one is one of the heavy guns, Lucio. 1 year ago he joined Inter from Bayern with Jose Mourinho's request. He was a top-class defender, having total of 105 caps for Brazilian national team. His career until and with Inter was extraordinary. He was a world champion, Champions League winner, winner of multiple trophies in Italy and Germany. However, with age, he couldn't keep in the top flight and returned home and played for big Brazilian sides as Sao Paulo and Palmeiras. His next stop was a bit controversial, and he joined Indian side FC Goa, playing 19 games, before once again returning to his country and finishing his career in Brazilian Serie C side Brasiliense. Samuel Eto'o. While playing for FC Barcelona and Inter, he was considered one of the deadliest strikers in the world, and totally netted 141 goals in 211 games during that period. He was the fourth player in the Champions League history to win the trophy 2 years in a row with 2 different clubs. He is also the all-time leading goal scorer in the African Cup of Nations. However, after Inter, he became a nomad. Even though he earned a lot of money and continued to score, he was out of the big football for good. In just space of 8 years, he played in 5 different countries and 8 different clubs. During his time with Russian side Angers, he was the highest paid player in the world, with a salary of 20 million euros per year. After Angers, he played for Chelsea and Everton in Premier League, then moved to Sampdoria in Italy, where he managed to score only 2 goals. Then he ended in Turkey, in Antalyaspor, where he surprisingly netted 44 goals in 76 games. Then he moved to even smaller Turkish side Konyaspor and ended his career in Qatar in 2019. Sulley Muntari. He spent 4 years in Inter and 3 years in Milan, played 84 games for Ghana. He was also part of the surprising Portsmouth team that won 2007-2008 FA Cup, which made Inter to acquire him for 14 million euros. However, his later career was not as glamorous. First, he moved to Saudi Arabic club Al Ittihad, and it was the last season he played a decent number of games. From there on, he played 9 games for Pescara, 8 games for Deportivo La Coruña, and finally only 2 games for the Spanish second-tier team Albacete, where he finished his career. I have saved the most precious gem for the last. For me personally, it was the most disappointing career ending in our list. 2010 was his year all around. By most, he was seen as the true winner of that year's Ballon d'Or. During that year, he has won Supercoppa Italia, Serie A, Champions League and Coppa Italia. He was also named the midfielder of the season by UEFA. But the injuries took their toll, and even though he had amazing seasons with Galatasaray and developed a special relationship with the fans, becoming one of the all-time favorites, he was not among the best anymore. In 2017, he signed for Nice, but managed to play only 5 games, and sadly ended his career in Qatari club Al Gharafa. A very poor ending for such a great player. At the moment, he is working for a Dutch club Utrecht.